How's it going, everybody? My name is Daniel. This is my first video on this new channel. And what I want to do, this is my objective, is to take passages from the Bible and make them relevant to today's world. Just because a lot of people, they see a Bible or they hear about the Bible and they think, oh, that was written thousands of years ago. How is it relevant to my life today? Well, everything in this book, from beginning to end, has things you can take and apply to your day-to-day life. Your day-to-day situations, people you deal with, scenarios, stuff like that. So what I want to do is read some scriptures and show you how they can be relevant. Now, with that said, I also want to throw on the table, I am not a pastor. I am still somewhat new to the church myself, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I have it all figured out or act like I'm perfect, because I don't and I'm not. But I do still want to be a vessel to the kingdom, help people in their day-to-day life, hopefully draw in some new people, and hopefully I can do that with this channel. So, with that said, first video on the new channel, we'll go ahead and turn to the book of Genesis. We'll start with Genesis 3. I'll give you a second to get there. All right, Genesis 3. Now the serpent was far more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree in the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the fruit of the tree which I have commanded you? Have you eaten from the tree which I have commanded you that you should not eat? Then the man said, The woman whom you have given me to be with, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you have done? And the woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. So if you're wondering how that's relevant to today's world, I'm going to explain it. So, Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden. They were told they could eat off any tree except for that one. And along comes the devil, and he basically cons Eve into eating from that tree. He basically tells her, look at that tree. It looks good. If you eat of it, you will be wise. You will know what God knows. Even go so far as to trash God's character by saying that God doesn't want you to have this wisdom. God doesn't want you to be all wise and all knowing like he is. You know, eat of it. It's a great idea. You should do it. Go for it. That was his tactic then, and it's his tactic now. So, fast forward to today's world. Say you're having a really bad disagreement with your spouse. You're both mad at each other. You cannot work out your differences. You've pushed each other to your breaking point. And for men, say there's that really hot girl at work that laughed at one of your jokes not too long ago, and you get a voice in your head, do I still have it? Or women, say there's that guy you know that's always been a little friendly, quote unquote, and you start thinking to yourself, he really doesn't look that bad. Maybe a cup of coffee with him wouldn't hurt. That's the devil trying to con you into doing something you shouldn't be doing and therefore break up your marriage. Here's another scenario. Say you're a recovering alcoholic. You're grocery shopping with your family. You walk by the beer aisle and you get an urge to go down there and see what's there. That's the devil trying to bring you back into your old habits. Here's another scenario. You're leaving the nightclub and bar life to go back to church. As most of us know, there's a lot of things going on in bars and nightclubs that are definitely not of God, and, even something like that. Say Friday or Saturday night rolls around, you haven't been to the club in a while, and you get a voice in your head like, I sure am bored tonight. Maybe a night at the club this one time won't hurt. That's the devil trying to get you back into doing things you shouldn't be doing. Because look at it this way. The devil hates me. The devil hates you. He hates your family. He hates your friends. He even hates the people who follow him. So, with that said, the devil doesn't care if that girl at work is really put off by your advances and makes a complaint with HR, and now you got to tell your wife why you no longer have a job. The devil doesn't care if you let things go a little too far with that one guy who just wants to be your friend, and now your husband's mad at you because you weren't being faithful. The devil doesn't care if, you haven't had a drink in over a year and you're doing so good and, you decide one beer this one time isn't going to hurt and you relapse. And all that effort you put into it over the last year now counts for nothing. The devil doesn't care if you're out partying all night on Saturday and you wake up with a really bad hangover on Sunday and now you don't want to go to church. The devil doesn't care. Hopefully all that stuff does happen because it's more entertainment and more of a show for him. The devil doesn't care. Also, as my wife has put it, the devil's not ugly. The devil's not ugly. Whatever it is your weakness is, whatever it is your sin is, whatever it is he knows you like that isn't of God, he's going to make sure he puts you in that situation so that hopefully you indulge. So, if partying and going to clubs was your thing before going to the Lord, he's going to, come the weekend, he's going to try and entice you to go. If alcohol or drugs was your thing, then, he's going to make sure you drive by a liquor store. He's going to make sure he puts someone in your life who has access to drugs, hopefully so that you will go back to it. He knows what he's doing. And his tactics were the same then, and they're the same now. His one objective is to pull you away from God. His one objective is to make you sin. His one objective is to make you do things that you shouldn't be doing and hopefully make you lose something. His mission is to kill, steal, and destroy. So, just like he did it to Adam and Eve and got them kicked out of the Garden of Eden, he wants to do the same to you. He wants to do the same to you. Get you doing things you shouldn't be doing and ruin your blessings. and block any further blessings that the Lord might otherwise have for you. So, with that said, it is something as Christians we have to be aware of. It's important that we stay focused, sober, and alert, and, be on the lookout. Because, you could have someone that's been in the church their whole life, has a supportive family backing them, has good friends. The devil's still going to try and come after them too with, whatever it is that person likes. Even the leadership in the church. There's still people at the end of the day. And, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but they are still people. And, they can, the devil's going to go after them too. Probably if not first, because, what better way to take people away from God than to go after someone who's supposed to be a leader. So that's why we also pray for the leaders of our church. So, with that said, I hope this information was helpful, and I hope I was able to help you out today. This is the first video on my new channel, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. God bless you, and I will see you next time.